might get a participation award or something. That don't mean nothing. Everybody got them. I don't want a participation award, to be honest with you. If I didn't give 100%, I definitely don't want no participation award. I want the main one. I want the biggest that they got. I want the most important one they got, and I'm going to work till I get it. If I didn't get it this year, guess what? I ain't quitting. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit because I didn't get the big award. I'm going to work even harder. And I'm going to try to do everything. And so you might say, well, what if you don't get it then? Well, I gave everything I got, and that's just as important. Amen. See, that's our problem. We're expecting everybody else to pull their weight, and we're expecting to coast. Now, he gets them and he brings them up to him because he knew that some of them was going to make something and some of them wouldn't. Verse 16, he says, Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. That means he occupied till he came. He worked till Jesus, or till this nobleman came back. He worked. He took that 1 pound that he gave, that $13,000 worth, $13,500 worth, was that what it was? Yes. And he took that. He was given 10, and he turned that one talent. He turned it into 100, and each one of them turned into $134,000. He went out there and worked. You say, man, but he had more to work with. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Some of us have a little more to work with in our Christian walk. Some of us have a little bit more to give. Some of us have a little more talent. Some of us have a little bit more physical ability. Some of us have this. Some of us have that. And so on it goes. But the fact is everybody was given something. He said to him, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful. Listen to this. This is reward. You'll talk about the MVP. Listen to this. It said to them, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in very little, have thou authority over 10. See, he just increased. Because of his faithfulness over such little. His faithfulness got promoted. Now then, he ain't just merely a servant, but he's now over 10 cities. See, that's reward right there. That is the MVP. That's recognition. That's the biggest trophy that was awarded that day. That's the one that we want. That's the one that we're going after. The next guy, here it goes, it says, And the second came saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. He done pretty good too. He went out there and worked. He might not have quite the ability as the other one, but he went out there and worked, and he turned that a little bit into a whole lot. And the nobleman, the wise nobleman, he said this to him, You'll be be thou also over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man, that takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. Let's go back to that. It says, And another came, saying, Lord, here is thy pound, which I kept laid up in a napkin. He kept all that he was given. Now you go back up where it says, when the nobleman told me, it says, occupy. That means trade. You go out and you make money. You're given this, you go out and you make me some money. Go out there and make it. When you're given a job, nobody, let me repeat this, nobody owes you nothing. You need to remember that, kids. Not one company owes you or you or you or you or you or you anything. Not one red cent do they owe you. Girls, not one company, one business owes you nothing. You say, well, why do you work? I work because somebody seen value in me. When I got my job, they said, hey, I want you working for me because you're qualified. You're qualified for what I need to make me a profit. I don't owe you anything but what you work for. So if you'll work for this wage you and I agree upon, I'll reward you with overtime. I'll reward you with keeping a job. I'll reward you, and you can stay here and you can have insurance and things like that. But I don't owe you nothing. Amen. You owe me, actually, and you're going to be profitable for me. If you're not, you're gone. Guys, that's how jobs work. That's why coaches coach like they do. Preachers preach like they do. Because one day you're going to be out in the real world, and it ain't going to, the money just ain't going to fall from the parents' purses, and you get everything that you asked for. And that's another cotton picking thing. Every kid, you go into a store, the kids start buying it, wanting this, wanting that, getting it, and boy, they get it too. They done learned how to milk the system, son. Mom and daddy can't say no. Well, Junior's little feelings are going to be hurt. Sally needs a new dog. Got 500 she won't play with. That's how it's done. That's where we start training. We start training this big. Sometimes some folks need to hear no. And we start that. And I'm going to tell you something. Right here is a story about this very thing that I'm talking about. Right here. And I'm going to, and it's the way it is. But nowadays, everybody ought to get the same thing. Everybody ought to get this or to get that. We can't leave nobody behind or nothing like that. Well, I tell you what started business, and then everything you make in that business, start distributing everybody that can help you start the business. You'll find out when this principle takes place right there. You'll find out real quick. He feared. Because this man, this austere man, this man here that was feared, he was afraid of him. And you know what? When you start looking at this, if he already knew and he was afraid of it, he knew what kind of man he was. And so the thoughts are he was lazy. He knew exactly what was expected of him, but yet he chose not to do it. He chose to put it in a napkin and hide it. And hold on to it till he came back so he didn't lose nothing or make nothing. What does Jesus say over in the book of Revelation? Neither hot nor cold I'll spew you out of my mouth. Because you're lukewarm. That's what's happening in churches now. We're lukewarm. Not hot or cold. Lukewarm. We're satisfied. We're satisfied because we've been trained to be satisfied. And that's what happens. Everybody gets satisfied, and they put everything in a napkin and put it upon a shelf, and are afraid to get it down. And listen, it ain't taking chances. He says trade it. If you lose everything, trade it. At least you try. I would rather somebody lose everything they got, falling and focused on a dream, and sit there hoarding it up and still lose everything they got because they're afraid to make it. Churches fall. Well, if we'll just, I'll tell you what, let's just hold on to what we got. Let's just, things ain't doing so good. Let's just hold on. Next thing you know, one family leaves. Well, we got everybody else. Just hang on. We're afraid to go and ask any new people to come in because they actually might come. And if people actually come, then we're going to have to get out of our little comfort zone, and then another family leaves while you're sitting there holding on. And you hold on some more, and you're afraid to still go ask anybody new to come into the church because they might come, and it might challenge us to get out of our comfort zone. And the next thing you know, they about 2 or 3 holding on and can't even see that everybody's done gone. We done it all, preacher. Did you invest anything? Did you give 100%? Or did you sit there soaked in silence and turn so bitter and blind that you can't even see what's going on around you? Afraid. I was afraid, so I put it in a napkin. I knew that you was coming back. You said you was. But I was hoping maybe those people would deter you when they said they didn't want you over them anymore. Maybe you wouldn't. Verse 23 says, wherefore then gavest not thou my money? Look here. He says, wherefore then, in verse 23, wherefore then gavest thou my money? Not gavest thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own usury? Look here. If you think banks are new, they're not. Maybe the way they do banking now is new, but they're still banks. The usury means, the Greek word is toka, which means interest in the Greek. That's interesting. At least could you not just put my money somewhere where it would have made a little bit of something? Could you not just been so stinking lazy that you didn't even put it in a box, you put it in a napkin. You put it in a napkin. You put my money that I trusted you with, you put what I trusted you with in a napkin, and you put my pen and you wrapped it up, you didn't even take time to put it in a box. You just put it up because that was convenient. And you waited. Didn't do nothing with it. It sat there. Y'all remember when we talked about a rock? Gold rock. Gold ain't worth nothing unless it's doing something and somebody's placed value on it. This person placed no value on what this nobleman gave. And I believe this is what's happened to our faith. We place no value on our faith other than our salvation. Because we don't exercise our faith. I can ask again, have you gave 100% as a Christian? Last week, week 4, 2 weeks, whenever, I can add it down the last 30 minutes. Have you paid attention to the message for the whole time, or have you been distracted? Have you thumbed ahead, thumbed behind? Have you done something because what he's preaching on you don't want to hear? Wherefore then why don't you just give it to the bank? Was you so lazy that you couldn't do that? In verse 24 it says, now this is the reward. 3 people he talks about, the one with the one that made the 10, the one that made the 5, and the one that didn't do nothing. Now then what he says is, look here, I want you to read this. He said unto them that stood by. Who stood by? I think it was the 7 that didn't get nothing. That's what I think. That's what I think. But reading this, I can't guarantee it. But I can tell you that they were there when he gave it the first time. So here I am sitting here. Now then we're getting a double portion of a double whammy of a message. So now then we're handing out trophies. One of them just got 10 cities. One of them just got 5 cities. Now then we're fixing to learn a big lesson. For those others that were standing around, I want y'all that didn't get nothing to begin with to take the one from this one that didn't do nothing with what I gave, and I want you to take it and even give another portion to that one that made the most. And here is I am telling you, we live right now in Bible times, dear friend. I want you to look at that next verse. Jesus said, they said this. And they said unto him, Lord, he had 10 pounds. So, he worked the hardest. Give him some more. This one ain't worth nothing, didn't give nothing, didn't do nothing, and was lazy, and y'all couldn't work hard enough to get one to begin with, so I want you to take from him and give to the one with the most. Buddy, that ain't politically correct. Mamas would claw my eyeballs out now if I was to say that about little Junior. Well, Junior didn't work as hard as they could. Now, I had them here at practice, even though they was late every time, and they didn't tuck the shirt in. I know they didn't do everything exactly, but you know it's Junior. Let me tell you something, kids. All kids. If you want the most, be the most. You understand? In everything you do. It don't mean you're going to have as much talent as everybody else. It doesn't. But I would rather have on my team one that gave 100% every time as the most athletic human on the planet that never tried for nothing. I don't want them kind of people. That's an unsuccessful person. I want the person that gives everything they got every time. I want the one that tucks the shirt in when they're supposed to and not have to be told to. I want the one that goes above and beyond every time, because that's the one I can count on. I try to be that guy at work. I try to give above and beyond what I do at work. And I work with a bunch of guys that do the same. Now, we cut up and carry on all the time. We have a good time at work. But boy, I work with some hard working men. boy, I see some that comes through, man, they fill in a space. They're bench warmers. Y'all ever heard that saying? I think it's called ride the pine. How about it, girls? You ever heard that? Heard them players, just all they do is ride the pine. You know why they ride the pine? It's because their ability. It has not got nothing to do with their ability. It's because they're not out there hustling and trying. So basically what they're going to do is ride the pine. They're going to wear a uniform. They're going to look like the other players. They're going to have their picture taken with everybody else. It's just like churches. It's just like work. It's just like church. It's just like teams. It's just like anything in life. You're going to have those that sit here soaking sour. They wear the uniform. They look the part. They get their pictures made. Everybody looks just exactly alike, but there's going to be those that go above and beyond. That's the ones that receive the reward. We don't want to tell that no more. We don't want to accept that anymore because that's too hard. But I'm telling you, I'm sitting here reading this story out of the Bible to you. And if you don't like what Pastor just told you, I'm just putting in another parable so you'll understand it in today's modern time, what Jesus is talking about here. He's talking to the people that are the saved people. He's talking about those that He imparts something to. That when a person receives Christ, they are imparted the Holy Ghost. We all have that measure of faith that's given to us. It's what you do with it that counts. Some of us just hide it. Put it in a napkin and leave it alone. Some people farm it and work it and try harder and do more. And there's more reward with that. So many of us get so satisfied, so lazy. Listen to what Jesus says. And we even complain because the others didn't. Well, look at him. He's crying because he didn't get the trophy. Let me tell you what, those tears may be the greatest tears that child ever shed. It changed their life. It did mine one time. It did mine. I was wanting a particular trophy and didn't get it because I really wasn't working hard enough to get it. And I realized then, had I worked harder, I would have gotten it. Let me tell you what happened after that. There was never a trophy available that I didn't get in my class. Well, I'll tell you right now, it wasn't a stinking trophy, guys. It was a goal I set in here. That's a piece of metal or something that would burn in a fire in a minute. But I'll always go down and go through my life working. It taught me something about life. If I want more, be more. Every time. Jesus says this, and we're going to close. For I say unto you that unto everyone which hath shall be given. And from him that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him. But those mine enemies would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither, and slay them for me. And so Jesus is talking about a story here. Everybody is going to be offered this faith. But there's going to be those that reject him. And they sent and said they reject him. It's just like today, there's people today that reject the gospel teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus is still returning, and he's still going to reward those that are faithful. But guess what? There's still going to be punishment for those that do not accept that gospel message. We live in this, it's honestly like the story's for us today, right now. Let me ask you this question. If you haven't been given 100%, why not? If you have the ability to give the 100%, which you all do, then what is it going to take in order for you to get to that level? What is it going to take to get that out of you? What is it going to take? Is it going to be on trophy day? Then it'll be too late. Because that's the awards day. I watch kids at these awards things get trophies and how happy they are. And there's all kinds of them. But I see some of them, son, that excel and everything. And they just load it down. And then there's some that didn't. But each one of those kids had the same opportunities as all the rest of them did. Why didn't they get them? Was they not as listen? You can talk to me till you're blue in the face, but I'm going to tell you something. The same opportunities are given. Yes, one child may have a little more than the other one, but everybody has the ability to earn something. We've got to start practicing in our life before we can start teaching it in theirs. What's holding you back? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid that things are going to grow? Are you afraid of failure? I ain't. I'm not afraid of success nor failure. What I'm afraid of is not trying at all. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid if I don't try, then I'll never succeed. And I'm going to keep plowing and hope, guys. I hope that hit home with you. Brother Larry, if you will, bring us a song of verse of invitation this morning. Guys, I ask you to search your heart. Are you giving all, or just some, or giving nothing? Check, you search here. You know the answers to these questions. I don't have to sit down and go through a litmus test or whatever. There's, well, check here, check there. You know if you are, if you ain't. You know if at work, if you're giving your employer everything. You know if you're on a ball field, or if you're in a hobby, or if you're in this, or if you're in that. You know if you're giving it 100%. You know you are or not. Where are you at? Where do you stand? Choice is yours. It's your choice. Nothing's holding you back but you. You think of age or handicap, disability, or youthfulness, middle age, man, I tell you what, we can all just start going through the gamut. We all got something wrong with us, but we all got something right with us too. So that's our problem. We want to focus on those things that hold us back instead of those things that propel us forward. Where are you at? Where are you at with your walk with Christ, brother? Y'all stay.